"It hurts. It's my first time tonight," the virgin bride moaned, then took the cowboy's belt. The sun was just beginning to rise over the wide golden fields, casting long shadows across the quiet town. Birds chirped softly, and the wind carried the scent of fresh hay and earth. In a small wooden house at the edge of the town, a young woman named Lily was awake, staring out of the window. Today was the day she would leave her parents' home and begin a new life with a man she had only recently met. A man named Jack. She had been promised to him in marriage, and though she had known it was coming, the reality of it now pressed heavily on her chest. Lily had grown up in this quiet town, surrounded by fields, farm animals, and the endless rhythm of country life. Her parents had worked hard all their lives, and she had always admired their strength and determination. But she had also known that she would eventually have to leave, to step into the unknown, to carve her own path. She thought of Jack, the man she would marry. He was a cowboy, tall and strong, with a gentle smile and kind eyes. People in the town spoke of him with respect, praising his work ethic and his honesty. But Lily had only spent a few short days with him before their wedding. That made her nervous. How could she be sure she would understand him? How could she be sure he would understand her? As she packed the last of her belongings into a small trunk, Lily felt a mixture of excitement and fear. She thought of the stories her mother had told her about marriage, the laughter, the arguments, the shared chores, the quiet nights, the moments when two people learned each other's hearts. She wanted it to be good. She truly did. But a part of her was scared. Scared that she might not be ready. Scared that life with Jack would be harder than she imagined. She pressed her hands to her chest, trying to calm the fluttering in her stomach. Her mother entered the room quietly, holding a small basket of fresh bread and fruit. "Are you ready, my dear?" she asked, her voice soft but firm. Lily nodded, though she felt her throat tighten. Her mother smiled and placed a hand on her shoulder. "I know it is frightening," she said, "but you are stronger than you think. And remember, love grows with time. You don't have to have all the answers today." Her words offered some comfort, and Lily felt a warmth spread through her. She hugged her mother tightly, feeling the weight of the moment, and then carefully closed the trunk. She was ready, or as ready as anyone could be, for something so new and uncertain. The ride to Jack's farm was long. The dusty road stretched out under a clear blue sky, lined with tall grass that swayed in the breeze. Lily sat quietly in the back of the wagon, holding on to the side for balance, watching the fields pass by. She saw children running in the distance, farmers tending to their crops, and animals grazing peacefully. Everything seemed calm and beautiful, but her mind was filled with questions. Would she like living on the farm? Would she be able to help with the chores? Would Jack like her? She had no answers, and the unknown pressed on her like a heavy stone. When they arrived, the farm was everything she had imagined from stories she had heard. Wide open spaces, a small barn with a creaky roof, fields stretching into the horizon, and horses grazing calmly. Jack was there to meet her, standing tall and steady as he held the reins of his horse. He smiled when he saw her, and for a moment, the fear in Lily's chest eased. He approached her slowly, respectfully, tipping his hat. "Welcome, Lily," he said, his voice calm and reassuring. "I hope your journey was not too tiring." She nodded, her lips curling into a small smile. "It was fine. Thank you." There was a pause, an awkward silence that neither knew how to fill. But it was not unpleasant. It was real, and it was theirs. The first hours were spent getting to know each other in small ways. Jack showed her the house and the barn, introduced her to the animals, and explained some of the daily chores. Lily listened carefully, asking questions when she needed to, and trying to absorb everything. She wanted to do well, to show that she could be helpful, and that she respected the life Jack had built. She watched him work, noticing the way he moved with care and confidence, the way he treated the animals gently, the way his eyes held a quiet patience. She began to feel a small spark of admiration and trust. Maybe she could fit into this life after all. As the sun began to dip toward the horizon, painting the sky with shades of orange and pink, Lily helped Jack prepare a simple dinner. They worked side by side in the small kitchen, chopping vegetables, setting the table, and sharing small talk. Lily found herself laughing at a story Jack told about a mischievous goat that had eaten half of his neighbor's garden. It was a sound she hadn't realized she had missed, the simple joy of sharing a laugh with someone new. Jack laughed too, his deep voice echoing warmly in the small kitchen. For the first time that day, Lily felt that maybe things could be okay. Maybe they could even be good. After dinner, they sat together outside on the porch, watching the stars emerge one by one. The air was cool, carrying the scent of hay and the quiet hum of crickets. Lily felt her hands grow tired from the day's work, but her heart felt lighter. Jack spoke about his dreams for the farm, the plans he had for the future, and the way he wanted to live a simple, honest life. Lily listened, intrigued, and found herself sharing some of her own hopes and dreams as well. She realized that, despite the fear, there was excitement in the unknown. She realized that she was not alone. She realized that this could be the start of something meaningful. As the night deepened, Jack prepared a small room for Lily in the house. It was simple but cozy, with a clean bed, a small dresser, and a window overlooking the fields. Lily placed her belongings carefully, feeling a sense of ownership and belonging in this new space. She thought of her parents, of the life she was leaving behind, and of the life she was beginning. There was fear, yes, but there was also hope. She took a deep breath, trying to calm the nerves that still fluttered in her stomach. She knew tomorrow would bring more challenges, more lessons, and more moments where she would have to learn, adapt, and grow. But tonight, she allowed herself a small comfort, the quiet of the night, the beauty of the stars, and the sense that maybe, just maybe, she could find her place in this new life. Before falling asleep, Lily looked out of the window one last time, letting the soft light of the moon wash over the fields. She thought about the journey she had begun, the person she was becoming, and the partnership she was stepping into. It was only the beginning, but it felt significant. For the first time in a long while, she felt a small but steady flame of courage. It hurt, yes, leaving the familiar, facing the unknown, but it was also a beginning. And beginnings, she realized, could hold more beauty than one ever expected. The next morning, the sun rose slowly over the horizon, painting the fields in soft shades of gold and green. Lily awoke to the gentle sounds of roosters crowing and the rustle of horses in the stable. She stretched and sat on the edge of her bed, feeling the unfamiliar stiffness in her muscles from yesterday's journey and chores. Everything felt new: the creaking wooden floor, the smell of fresh hay, the way the morning light filtered through the window. She took a deep breath, reminding herself that this was her life now, a life she had chosen to embrace. Downstairs, the kitchen was already warm with the smell of fresh coffee and baked bread. Jack was at the stove, flipping pancakes with a practiced hand. When he saw Lily, he smiled, setting a plate of food in front of her. "Morning," he said simply, his voice calm. "Sleep well?" Lily nodded, taking a seat at the table. "I did, thank you. The bed is very comfortable." Jack chuckled softly. "Glad to hear it. You'll need energy today. There's much to do around the farm." Lily looked out of the window and saw the expanse of field stretching far beyond the house. She felt a mixture of excitement and apprehension. There was a lot to learn, a lot to adapt to, and she wasn't sure she was ready for it. After breakfast, Jack led her to the barn. Horses, cows, and chickens moved about, and the air smelled of hay, earth, and livestock. "We start with feeding the animals," Jack explained. "The horses need their oats, the cows their hay, and the chickens their grain. It's important to do it in the right order so everything stays calm." Lily nodded, feeling slightly overwhelmed, but she followed his instructions carefully. She held the feed bags, poured grain into the troughs, and helped lead the cows to fresh pasture. Jack watched her closely, occasionally giving gentle tips. "Keep your back straight when lifting the feed," he said kindly. "It will help you avoid injury." Lily smiled and tried again, feeling the satisfaction of learning something new and knowing she was doing it right. By midday, the sun was high and warm, casting shadows across the barn. Lily's hands were rough from handling hay, and her clothes were dusted with dirt, but she felt a sense of pride. She had worked hard, and she had not given up, even when it was tiring. Jack noticed her determination and nodded approvingly. "You're picking this up faster than I expected," he said. "Most people struggle for weeks before they can manage the chores on their own." Lily felt a flush of happiness. "Thank you," she replied softly. "I want to do well. I want to be helpful." Jack's smile was warm. "You already are," he said simply, and for a moment the world felt lighter, easier. The afternoon brought new lessons. Jack took her to the fields, showing her how to check the soil, water the crops, and mend the fences. Lily struggled at first, fumbling with tools she had never used before. She dropped a hammer, stumbled over a rope, and nearly tripped in the mud. But Jack was patient. He guided her hands, explained each step slowly, and offered encouragement rather than criticism. "Mistakes happen," he said. "The important thing is to learn from them." Lily listened carefully and tried again, feeling her confidence grow with each successful attempt. By the end of the day, the fences were repaired, the soil was ready for planting, and Lily felt a quiet sense of accomplishment. She had worked hard, learned a lot, and survived the challenges of the day. As evening approached, Lily and Jack returned to the house, both tired but satisfied. Lily prepared a simple meal with vegetables from the garden, while Jack cleaned the tools and fed the remaining animals. They ate together on the porch, watching the sun dip below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of pink and orange. The air was cool, carrying the scent of earth and flowers, and the quiet of the farm seemed to wrap around them like a soft blanket. They talked about the day, sharing stories and laughter, and Lily felt herself growing more comfortable in this new life. The fear she had felt yesterday began to fade, replaced by curiosity and determination. Later, after dinner, Jack suggested a walk through the fields. Lily followed him, feeling the soft grass under her feet and the gentle breeze on her face. They walked side by side, speaking quietly about their hopes and fears. Jack told her about his life before the farm, the challenges he had faced, and the lessons he had learned. Lily listened, fascinated by his resilience and wisdom. She shared stories of her own childhood, the small joys and struggles she had experienced, and the dreams she held for the future. They laughed, reflected, and for the first time, Lily felt a genuine connection forming between them. She realized that despite the uncertainty and the work ahead, she was not alone. She had someone who cared, someone who would guide her, and someone who respected her as an equal. As night fell, Lily prepared for bed, feeling the soreness in her muscles from the day's work, but also a sense of fulfillment. She looked out of the window at the moonlit fields, feeling a quiet pride in what she had accomplished. She realized that life on the farm was not easy, but it was honest and meaningful. Every task mattered, Every effort counted, and every day brought new lessons. She understood now that this was not just a new beginning in marriage, but a beginning in life itself. She was learning to face challenges, embrace responsibility, and grow stronger with each passing day. Before sleeping, Lily took a moment to reflect on her journey. She thought about her parents, the life she had left behind, and the life she was creating with Jack. She thought about the fear she had felt yesterday, the determination she had found within herself, and the small victories she had achieved today. She understood that fear was natural, that mistakes were part of learning, and that growth came from patience and effort. She felt a quiet resolve to continue learning, to continue trying, and to continue building a life that was honest, meaningful, and shared with someone who respected her. Jack knocked lightly on the door, holding a lantern. "Ready for bed?" he asked gently. Lily nodded, smiling. "Yes. Thank you for your help today. I learned a lot." Jack smiled back. "You did well. Remember, every day will teach you something new. And I'll be here to guide you." Lily felt a warmth in her chest, a sense of safety and trust she had not known before. She realized that this life, though challenging, was also full of possibilities, and that with patience and effort she could grow into it, flourish in it, and find happiness within it. As she lay in bed that night, listening to the quiet sounds of the farm, the soft rustle of leaves, the distant call of an owl, the gentle snort of a horse, Lily felt a small but steady flame of hope burning within her. She knew the journey ahead would be long, that challenges would continue to arise, and that she would need courage and perseverance. But she also knew that she had already taken the first steps, that she had already faced her fears, and that she was not alone. She felt a quiet joy in the small victories, the learning, and the growing connection with Jack. Life on the farm was not easy, but it was real, meaningful, and full of potential. And for Lily, that was enough to make the hard work worthwhile. The morning arrived crisp and cool, with a light fog lingering over the fields. Lily awoke feeling the soreness from yesterday's work, but also a sense of pride. She had learned a lot in just 2 days: how to feed the animals, mend fences, water the crops, and even cook a simple meal. Yet she knew that life on the farm was not a task that could be mastered quickly. There would always be new challenges, new lessons, and unexpected difficulties. Today, Jack had promised to teach her something entirely new: how to ride the horses properly and help with the heavy work in the barn. Downstairs, Jack was already preparing breakfast. The smell of fresh eggs and baked bread filled the house. He greeted Lily with a warm smile. "Good morning," he said. "Ready for another day?" Lily nodded, still a little nervous. "I think so. I'm ready to try." Jack chuckled softly. "Good. Today will be more challenging, but you'll manage." Lily felt a flutter of apprehension. She knew riding a horse was different from anything she had ever done. She had watched others do it, of course, but now it was her turn. And she wanted to do well, not just for herself, but for Jack, who had been patient and kind in teaching her. After breakfast, Jack led her to the stable. Several horses stood quietly, their ears twitching as they watched them approach. Jack picked out a horse for her, a calm, gentle mare named Daisy. "She's used to beginners," Jack explained, "but remember, you have to trust her, and she has to trust you." Lily nodded, taking a deep breath as she ran her hands along Daisy's smooth coat. The horse nuzzled her shoulder, and Lily felt a small wave of relief. Maybe this wouldn't be as difficult as she feared. Jack helped her climb into the saddle and adjusted the straps carefully. "Sit up straight," he instructed. "Keep your heels down and your hands steady. Speak gently to her. She responds to calm voices." Lily nodded, gripping the reins tightly. The moment Daisy moved forward, Lily felt a mix of fear and exhilaration. The horse walked slowly at first, then picked up a gentle trot. Lily held her breath, concentrating on balancing, guiding, and staying calm. Jack walked beside her, offering encouragement and guidance. "Good, Lily. You're doing well. Relax your shoulders. You've got this." She tried to follow his instructions, feeling her confidence grow with each step. By mid-morning, Lily was riding more confidently. She could steer Daisy around the fields, keeping pace with Jack as he rode alongside her. The wind on her face and the rhythm of the horse's movements brought a sense of freedom she had never felt before. She laughed aloud when Daisy startled at a butterfly, causing her to wobble slightly in the saddle. Jack laughed too, a warm, hearty sound that made her feel at ease. "See? Nothing to worry about," he said. "You're learning quickly." Lily smiled, feeling a mix of relief and pride. She realized that challenges, no matter how intimidating at first, could be overcome with patience and determination. After the ride, Jack led her to the barn to help with some heavier chores. They had to repair a section of the roof that had been damaged in a recent storm. Jack handed Lily a hammer and some nails, explaining the safety precautions carefully. "Be careful with your footing," he said. "Always make sure the boards are stable before stepping." Lily nodded, feeling a little nervous. Climbing onto the roof was not easy, and the weight of the materials made her arms ache. But she focused, remembering Jack's advice, and slowly began to hammer the boards into place. She felt a sense of accomplishment with each successful strike, knowing she was contributing to the upkeep of the farm. By midday, the work on the roof was nearly done. Lily's arms were sore, her hands blistered, but she felt a deep satisfaction. She had never imagined herself doing this kind of work, yet here she was, climbing, lifting, hammering, and learning skills that were entirely new. Jack stood nearby, watching her with a proud smile. "You're stronger than you realize," he said. "Most people would have given up by now, but you're persistent. That's what matters." Lily felt a warmth in her chest. She was learning not just about farm life, but about herself, her resilience, her determination, and her ability to face challenges head-on. In the afternoon, a sudden problem arose. One of the cows had gotten loose and wandered near the edge of the property, close to a dense patch of trees. Jack immediately went to round it up, but he gestured for Lily to follow. "Stay calm," he instructed. "We'll need to guide her back carefully." Lily's heart raced. The cow was large and strong, and she had never handled an animal that big on her own. But she remembered what Jack had taught her. Speak gently, move slowly, and assert calm confidence. She followed his lead, helping to steer the cow back toward the barn. It took patience, careful movements, and teamwork, but eventually, they succeeded. Lily felt a rush of pride. She had faced a real challenge, something she could have been afraid of, and she had done it successfully. After the excitement, they returned to the house, both tired but satisfied. Lily prepared a light meal while Jack tended to the smaller chores, feeding the remaining animals and cleaning the barn. They ate together on the porch, the evening sun casting long shadows across the fields. Lily reflected on the day's events, the riding lesson, the roof repair, and rounding up the cow. Each task had been challenging, but each had taught her something new about life, responsibility, and her own strength. She realized that she was growing more capable and confident with each passing day, and that Jack's guidance was helping her transform from a nervous newcomer into someone who could face challenges with courage. As the night fell, Lily and Jack sat together outside, listening to the soft sounds of the farm. The distant call of an owl, the gentle snort of a horse, the rustle of leaves in the breeze. They spoke quietly, sharing thoughts about the day and dreams for the future. Lily felt a connection growing between them, one built on mutual respect, trust, and shared effort. She realized that partnerships, whether in marriage or life, required patience, understanding, and hard work. And in Jack, she found someone who was patient, kind, and willing to guide her while allowing her to grow independently. Before bed, Lily took a quiet moment to herself, standing by the window and looking out over the moonlit fields. She thought about the challenges she had faced today, the fears she had overcome, and the small victories she had achieved. She realized that growth was not about avoiding difficulty, but about meeting it head on, learning from mistakes and celebrating progress, no matter how small. She felt a quiet sense of pride in herself, a feeling that she had rarely experienced before. Life on the farm was demanding, yes, but it was honest, meaningful, and full of opportunities for growth. Jack knocked lightly on the door, holding a lantern. "Time to rest," he said gently. Lily smiled. "Yes, I need it. Today was long, but I learned so much." Jack nodded. "You did very well. Remember, life is a series of small lessons. Each day teaches you something new. Keep your courage and keep learning." Lily felt a warmth in her chest, a quiet assurance that she was on the right path. She realized that with effort, patience, and guidance, she could face the challenges ahead, build a meaningful life, and grow into the person she wanted to be. As she lay in bed, listening to the quiet rhythm of the farm, Lily thought about the journey ahead. She knew there would be more challenges. Some she could anticipate, others she could not. But she also knew that she was capable, that she had already faced fears and learned valuable lessons. She felt a small but steady flame of hope and determination. Life on the farm was not easy, but it was real, fulfilling, and full of potential. And for the first time, she felt a true sense of belonging, a feeling that she could face the unknown with courage and resilience, and that each day would bring new opportunities to grow, to learn, and to connect with the life and people around her. The morning air was sharp and fresh, carrying the faint smell of wet earth from the early dew. Lily woke before sunrise, her mind buzzing with anticipation and a little worry. Today, Jack had promised that she would take part in something very important on the farm, a task that required careful planning, steady hands, and courage. It was different from the daily chores she had learned so far. It was something that would test everything she had learned in the past few days. She dressed quickly, trying to calm the nervous fluttering in her stomach, and went downstairs to find Jack already preparing breakfast. Jack smiled at her as she entered. "Morning," he said, placing a plate of scrambled eggs and toast in front of her. "Are you ready for today?" Lily hesitated for a moment. I think so. It sounds big, but I'm ready to try." Jack nodded, his expression serious but encouraging. "It is a big task, yes, but I believe you can handle it. Today, you will help me move the young calves to the new pasture. It will take patience, careful attention, and teamwork. Are you ready to focus?" Lily nodded, feeling a mix of fear and determination. She knew this would be her toughest challenge yet, but she wanted to prove to herself and to Jack that she could handle it. After breakfast, they walked together to the barn where the young calves were kept. The animals were curious and restless, eager to explore the larger pasture that awaited them. Jack explained the plan carefully. "We'll need to move them slowly, keeping them calm. You will be in charge of guiding them from one side, while I handle the other side. It will require patience, a calm voice, and careful movement." Lily listened intently, trying to remember all the lessons from the past days. She took a deep breath and nodded. I understand. I'll do my best. Jack smiled reassuringly. That's all anyone can ask. The task began slowly. Lily followed Jack's instructions, speaking gently to the calves, guiding them with steady hands, and making sure not to startle them. At first it was difficult. The calves were energetic and unpredictable, running in different directions and sometimes refusing to move. Lily felt a flash of panic, but she remembered Jack's words. Patience and calmness were key. She took a deep breath, slowed her movements, and focused on one calf at a time. Gradually, they began to move as a group, following her guidance toward the new pasture. Lily felt a rush of satisfaction at this small victory. She was learning to control her fear, to trust her instincts, and to guide the animals with confidence. As they reached the middle of the field, one of the calves suddenly broke away from the group and ran toward a fence that bordered the road. Lily's heart leapt into her throat. Without thinking, she ran after it, speaking softly to calm the frightened animal. Jack followed closely behind, shouting words of encouragement. The calf skidded near the fence, but Lily managed to gently steer it back toward the group, using patience rather than force. Her hands were shaky, her heart was pounding, but she felt a surge of pride. She had faced a sudden challenge and had succeeded through calmness and determination. Jack's approving smile met her eyes, and she knew she had done well. The rest of the morning continued with careful attention, guiding each calf into the new pasture. Lily moved with growing confidence, learning to anticipate the animals' reactions and respond calmly. She began to feel a sense of rhythm with the work, as if she and the calves were moving together in harmony. Jack walked beside her, occasionally offering advice, but mostly letting her take the lead. "You've come a long way in just a few days," he said quietly. "I'm proud of you." Lily felt her cheeks warm with happiness. She realized that she was not only learning about the farm, but also about herself, her resilience, her patience, and her ability to face challenges she had once thought impossible. By midday, the calves were safely settled in their new pasture, exploring the fresh grass and wide open space. Lily leaned against the fence, breathing heavily but smiling. She felt tired, yes, but also exhilarated. She had faced a real test, something that required courage, focus, and determination. And she had succeeded. Jack joined her at the fence, handing her a bottle of water. "You did very well," he said simply. "You handled the unexpected challenges with calmness and skill. That is more than I could have asked for." Lily felt a deep sense of pride. She realized that this experience had changed her. She was stronger, more confident, and more independent than she had been just a few days ago. The afternoon brought another challenge. A sudden storm rolled in, dark clouds covering the sky and strong winds whipping through the fields. Jack and Lily had to quickly secure the animals, close the barn doors, and make sure everything on the farm was safe. The rain began to fall heavily, soaking them within minutes. Lily shivered but kept moving, helping Jack secure the gates and calm the animals. She realized that farm life was unpredictable. There would always be sudden challenges, and one had to be prepared to face them. But she also realized that with courage, focus, and determination, she could handle them. The storm, though frightening, became another lesson in resilience and responsibility. By evening, the storm had passed, leaving the farm fresh and glistening under the last rays of sunlight. Lily and Jack returned to the house, dripping wet but satisfied. They changed into dry clothes and sat down to a simple dinner. The warmth of the house, the smell of food, and the quiet chatter between them made Lily feel safe and comforted. She reflected on the day, the movement of the calves, the unexpected escape, the storm, and felt a deep sense of accomplishment. She had faced real challenges, learned important lessons, and proven to herself that she was capable of more than she had imagined. After dinner, Jack suggested a walk through the fields to admire the calm after the storm. Lily followed, feeling the wet grass under her feet and the cool breeze on her face. They walked quietly, listening to the soft sounds of the farm, the gentle moo of the calves, the rustle of leaves, the distant call of birds returning after the rain. They spoke about the day, the lessons learned, and the importance of patience, courage, and teamwork. Lily felt a connection with Jack that went beyond simple partnership. She realized that they had begun to understand and trust each other in ways that were deep and meaningful. Their relationship was no longer just about learning the farm or adjusting to life. It was about respect, support, and shared growth. Before heading to bed, Lily stood by the window of her room, looking out at the moonlit fields. The storm had passed, but the farm felt alive in a new way. She thought about the challenges she had faced today, the fear she had felt, and the determination she had found within herself. She realized that life on the farm, much like life itself, was full of unexpected difficulties, but each challenge was also an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become stronger. She felt a deep sense of pride in her progress and a quiet excitement for the days to come. Jack knocked softly on the door. "Time to rest," he said. Lily nodded, smiling. "Yes, I need it. Today was difficult, but I feel stronger because of it." Jack's smile was warm. "Remember, growth comes from facing challenges. You have shown courage, patience, and determination. That is the mark of someone who will succeed here, not just on the farm, but in life." Lily felt a glow of happiness and relief. She realized that the lessons she had learned today were not just about farm work. They were about herself, her abilities, and her resilience. She felt ready to continue the journey, confident in her own strength and supported by someone who believed in her. As she lay in bed that night listening to the calm sounds of the farm, the soft breeze, the distant call of a night bird, the quiet of the animals settled in the pasture, Lily reflected on the journey she had taken so far. She had faced fear, uncertainty, and real challenges, but she had persevered. She had learned to trust herself, to stay calm under pressure, and to work alongside Jack as a true partner. Life on the farm was demanding, but it was also fulfilling, meaningful, and full of opportunities to grow. And for Lily, that realization filled her with hope, pride, and a quiet excitement for the future. The morning sun rose slowly over the farm, spilling golden light across the fields and casting long shadows behind the barns and fences. Lily awoke feeling rested, her muscles sore but strong, and a quiet sense of excitement filled her chest. Over the past few days, she had faced challenges she'd never imagined, learned the rhythms of farm life, and discovered a confidence she had never known before. Today felt different. Today, she felt ready to truly embrace her life on the farm, not as a visitor, but as someone who belonged. Downstairs, the smell of fresh bread and coffee greeted her. Jack was already busy preparing breakfast, humming softly as he worked. When he saw Lily enter, he smiled warmly.
"Good morning," he said. "You look ready for a new day."
Lily smiled back, feeling the ease that had grown between them over the past week.
"I am," she replied.
"I feel ready to do more today," Jack nodded, handing her a plate. "That's the spirit. There's much to do, but I can see you've grown confident. I think you'll enjoy today's tasks." Lily felt a thrill of excitement. She had learned so much already, and now she was ready to take even more responsibility on the farm. After breakfast, Jack led Lily to the fields to check on the crops. The young seedlings were growing steadily, their green leaves glistening with morning dew. "Today you will learn to water the crops efficiently, check the soil, and even plant new seeds," Jack explained. It may seem simple, but it requires care and attention. Lily nodded, eager to begin. She followed Jack's instructions, moving carefully between the rows of crops, feeling the soil in her hands and ensuring each seedling received the right amount of water. She felt a quiet satisfaction in the work, knowing that the effort she put in today would help the farm thrive in the weeks and months ahead. By late morning, the work had become more challenging. A patch of weeds had grown near the fence, and they needed to be removed before they could spread to the crops. Lily grabbed a small hoe and began digging carefully, pulling the weeds from the soil. It was hard work, and her arms ached, but she felt strong. Jack moved alongside her, giving tips on technique and encouraging her with quiet praise. "You've come a long way," he said. "Look at how confidently you're handling this work. I'm proud of you." Lily felt a glow of happiness. She realized that her skills were growing, and with each task, she was becoming more independent, more capable, and more comfortable in her new life. The afternoon brought a new challenge. A delivery of supplies had arrived at the farm. A stack of feed bags, tools, and other essentials that needed to be moved into the barn. Jack showed Lily how to lift and carry the bags safely, teaching her how to use proper posture and strength without risking injury. At first, Lily struggled with the heavier bags, her arms trembling as she lifted them onto the cart. But she persisted, slowly building confidence and strength. By the time all the supplies were stacked neatly in the barn, she was tired but proud. She had accomplished something tangible, something that made a real difference to the farm, and she felt a quiet sense of pride in her hard work. As evening approached, Jack suggested they take a break and sit on the porch. Lily followed him, grateful for the chance to rest and watch the sunset. The sky was painted with shades of orange, pink, and purple, the clouds reflecting the soft light of the setting sun. Lily felt a peaceful calm settle over her. She thought about everything she had learned, the chores, the animals, the crops, and the challenges she had faced. Each day had brought a new lesson, and each lesson had made her stronger, braver, and more confident. She realized that she had grown in ways she never expected, and that the farm, with all its work and demands, had become a place where she truly belonged. Jack spoke softly beside her. "You've come so far, Lily. I've watched you face challenges, learn new skills, and grow in confidence every day. I think the farm suits you." Lily smiled, feeling a warm sense of gratitude. "Thank you, Jack," she replied. "It hasn't been easy, but I've learned so much, and I feel happy here. I feel like I'm part of something important." Jack nodded. "You are. And that's what life is about, learning, growing, and finding your place." Lily looked at him and realized how much she trusted him, how much she respected him, and how grateful she was for his guidance. She had started this journey nervous and unsure, but now she felt capable, confident, and ready to take on whatever came next. As night fell, the farm quieted down. The animals were settled in their stalls, the crops were secure, and the wind carried the gentle sounds of the countryside. Lily prepared for bed, feeling a sense of completion and satisfaction. She reflected on the journey she had taken, from the first nervous morning through the challenges of feeding the animals and mending fences, to today where she had handled tasks independently and confidently. She realized that the farm had not only taught her practical skills, but had also helped her grow as a person, stronger, more patient, and more self-assured. Before sleeping, Lily stepped outside one last time, gazing at the moonlit fields. The stars sparkled above, and the soft rustle of leaves filled the air. She felt a deep sense of peace and contentment. The fears she had felt at the beginning of her journey had transformed into courage. The uncertainty of her new life had become confidence. and the challenges she had faced had taught her lessons she would carry forever. She knew that life on the farm would continue to bring difficulties, but she now had the strength, knowledge, and determination to meet them. Jack appeared at the door, holding a lantern and smiling gently. "Ready to rest?" he asked. Lily nodded. "Yes. Today was wonderful. I feel stronger, and I feel like I finally belong here." Jack nodded approvingly. "You do belong here, Lily. You've proven that through your hard work, patience, and courage. I'm proud of you." Lily felt a warm happiness spread through her chest. She realized that she had not only learned about farm life, but had also discovered her own strength, independence, and ability to thrive in a new and challenging environment. As she lay in bed, listening to the calm of the farm, Lily felt a quiet gratitude for everything she had experienced. She had faced fear, learned new skills, overcome challenges, and grown closer to Jack, who had guided her with patience and respect. She understood now that life was full of lessons, and that each challenge was an opportunity to grow stronger and wiser. She smiled softly to herself, feeling a sense of hope and excitement for the days ahead. The farm had become more than just a place. It had become a home, a place where she could contribute, grow, and belong. The next morning, Lily awoke with renewed energy. She moved through her daily tasks with ease, feeding the animals, checking the crops, and preparing breakfast. Each movement felt natural, each task accomplished with confidence. She realized that she had grown into her new life, that she was no longer just learning or adapting, but actively contributing and making a difference. The farm was thriving under her care, and she felt a deep sense of fulfillment. Jack watched her with quiet admiration, knowing that she had become a capable, independent partner in every sense. By evening, Lily and Jack sat on the porch together, watching the sun set over the fields. The sky was a brilliant mix of gold and pink, and the air was calm and warm. They spoke quietly about the day, sharing thoughts and reflections. Lily felt a sense of completeness. She had faced challenges, learned, grown, and found her place on the farm. She had discovered strengths she never knew she had, and had built a connection with Jack based on respect, trust, and shared effort. Life was not always easy, but it was meaningful, rewarding, and full of hope. As the stars appeared in the night sky, Lily felt a quiet sense of peace. She had completed her journey from nervous newcomer to confident partner, fully capable of facing the challenges and joys of farm life.